Settle in, everyone. There's quite a few spells to go through. Hello everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your Master of Lore and Storyteller Extraordinaire, bringing you the next step in our first edition Pathfinder Sorcerer guide, today covering 2nd level spells. Now, I had been hoping to try to cover multiple spell levels per level, or per video rather, but that just kind of turned out to be untenable because holy crap, there's so many to go over, and a lot of good ones too. So today is just 2nd level spells, but before we go into what exactly we have on offer for you today, remember, if you're new here to the channel, go on down there to hit the subscribe button and become a regular member here at the Gamer's Den. Or, if you've already gone on ahead and listed yourself on such a legendary roster of epic heroes such as that, then go on down to hit the like button and share the video far and wide. But now, let's crack open this tome and start going over what spells are going to be most beneficial for you. And to begin with, it's a classic. We have the Invisibility spell. It's a standard action to cast, and you turn yourself or one creature or an object weighing up to 100 pounds per level invisible for 1 minute per level. When you have this cast on yourself, you gain a plus 40 bonus to stealth if you're standing still, or a plus 20 if you're moving. And remember, any offensive actions dealing direct damage or casting spells like that will end the invisibility effect, although doing anything that causes indirect damage, such as pulling a lever, will not. Then we have Mirror Image, another standard action to cast, and it creates 1d4 plus 1 per level images of yourself. When an attack roll is made against you, you roll randomly to determine if you are hit or if one of the doubled images is hit. And also, if an attack misses you by about 5, then one of the doubled images is automatically destroyed, and this will last you 1 minute per level. This is probably one of your best defensive spells, and given that, well, combat is where you're most likely to die, this is going to be almost an auto-include for any sorcerer build, so definitely keep this one handy. Then the next one we have is going to be Glitter Dust. You target a 10-foot radius that's within 100 feet plus 10 feet per level and coat it with a golden glitter for 1 round per level. Targets that are in the area have to make will saves or be blinded, and they will take a minus 40 penalty to stealth, which, if they have invisibility cast on themselves, negates that plus 40 bonus. Invisible creatures are otherwise revealed, so this all the way around is just an incredible spell. Any stealthy, sneaky characters, anybody with invisibility on them will be revealed to you and take so many penalties. This is great to have. Plus, if they end up blinded, so much the better. Speaking of blinded, we have Blindness Deafness next, and it's a standard action, and you force a target to make a fortitude save or be permanently blinded or deafened, and you pick a target that's within 100 feet plus 10 feet per level. This is permanent, as I said, and blinded is such a staggeringly bad debuff to have. Deafness is probably a little bit of a lesser option, but is still incredibly useful, especially for enemy spellcasters and the like, so definitely a great one. And remember, normally this is a save or suck spell, which is maybe normally green at best, but because of our feat selection with persistent spell, we force our targets to re-roll or to roll twice and take the lower result. So this is going to be a much more useful option for you to have in your back pocket if you want to debuff somebody. The next spell we have is Euphoric Cloud. At any point within 100 feet plus 10 feet per level, you create a 20-foot high, 20-foot radius intoxicating fog bank that lasts 1 round a level. Targets within the fog have to make a fortitude save or be fascinated. Creatures who leave are fascinated 1d4 plus 1 rounds after, And any target who does make their save, every round on your turn that they remain in the cloud, they have to make another save to avoid being fascinated. So this is fantastic, because remember, most of these clouds and fog spells, they obscure line of sight. So if a target's fascinated and standing around in this cloud, they're not going to be aware of any threats or dangers. So they may well just kind of end up standing still or just kind of bumbling around for a little bit. So this is a great control spell for you to throw out there, and also absolutely hilarious to boot. Then the next spell is Stone Call. In a 20-foot high, 40-foot radius that's within 100 feet plus 10 feet per level, you create a rain of dirt and gravel that deals 2d6 bludgeoning damage to every creature in the area when the spell is first cast, so just on that first round. For the duration after, the debris makes the area difficult terrain. The spell lasts 1 round per level, so this is another decent battlefield control spell, and it's also a little bit of damage for you to deal out there, and in a pretty good radius too. This is a larger radius than Fireball, although not as much damage. So definitely a solid one to have. Difficult terrain means most of your enemies are not going to be able to charge and close distance with you, and that 40-foot radius just means that they are going to have a long ways to go before they can get anywhere near you or the party. And lastly, we have the spell Ashe Path. You grant target creatures immunity to contaminated air that's filled with particulates like ash, dust, smoke, etc., and they gain a +4 save bonus to magic effects like these. So any of these ash, dust, or cloud spells like Euphoric Cloud, they gain a +4 save bonus against. This will also grant targets the ability to see through magic obscuring effects like ash, smoke, fog up to 60 feet, and it lasts 10 minutes per level, and the duration must be split between targets. So Euphoric Cloud that we mentioned earlier, everybody that's inside of that, and especially those who are failing their saves, they're not going to be able to see out of it or through it. You and your party will be able to, so you can take your pick of targets inside of there. Any other of these fog spells, any obscuring mist and the like, you're going to be able to see a good distance through. So this is a great buff to have. It's actually very subtle in how awesome this is. So definitely a good one for you to have. But what do you think? Go on down to the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Certainly there are many other spells that are fantastic at 2nd level, and they only get better from here. So let me know your thoughts. What other spells might you include at this level? I didn't go over quite as many as possible because we have such a limited range of spells known, although you are able to swap them out over time as you level and advance. So go on down to the comments below, let me know your thoughts, hit those like or dislike buttons, and remember, if you're new here to the channel, then go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member. But with all that said, I've been your host, Jordan, your Master of Lore and Storyteller Extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night.